Welcome to Choosing to Be, your home for intimate conversations on transformation. This is Amanda Wirtz Rosolowski, and I'm delighted to share this time with you. It is so good to be together, and I'm excited to share with you a metaphor that is so deeply impressed upon me these last weeks. Your mind is not a storage unit. It's a sanctuary. Now stay with me because we're about to unpack that in a way that you may have not considered before. And if you're like most people, it's probably been a while since you treated it with the absolute reverence it deserves. Whether you thrive in structure or you swim in creativity, there is something universal about the way we navigate life. We rely on our minds, on our ideas to shape what comes next, to solve our problems, to dream bigger, to imagine new paths forward. Every day, whether we are conscious of it or not, we are asking ourselves, what do I want? How do I get there? And what are all the steps involved? But the most important question, the one that most people skip, is this: what are all the possibilities? This is where we need our imagination. This is where our inspired ideas begin to stir. J.K. Rowling said it best. Imagination is the uniquely human capacity to envision that which is not, the fount of all invention and innovation. The fount of all invention and innovation. According to Merriam-Webster Dictionary, I know I love the dictionary. One definition of innovation is the act or process of introducing new ideas, devices, or methods. In essence, let's tie it together. Innovation is both the thing that's new and the process of bringing that newness to life. Whether it's a product, a new way of thinking, a breakthrough solution, a new way of being. Steve Jobs framed it this way: innovation distinguishes between a leader and a follower. Now, if you're thinking, well, I'm not really a leader in any capacity, let me stop you right there. You are first and foremost the leader of your own life. You want to be the leader of your own life, not a follower. You are the leader of your own life, and any new solution, any development, any growth begins not somewhere out there, but right here in your imagination. Let's be clear, innovation cannot happen. It cannot happen without imagination. And imagination cannot flourish without a receptive, fertile, nurtured inner landscape. We need a place that's not just healthy, but deeply hospitable. A place within ourselves that says, come in. You're safe here. You're welcome here. A place where ideas don't have to fight to be heard or judged to be worthy. So let's back to the metaphor. If inspired ideas are like birds, and I do love this metaphor, then become a bird sanctuary. Create a sacred space within yourself for ideas to fly through, to land, to nest, ultimately to shape the ecosystem of your life in the greatest capacity possible. Now, we all have the potential to do this, but let's be honest, we often don't. Many of us consume way too much processed food, alcohol, drugs. We skip movement, or at minimum, don't have enough of it. we expose ourselves to toxic media that distorts reality and definitely drains our joy. Then on top of that, we neglect rest. Our sleep hygiene is frequently crap. We stay up too late, wake up too early, and expect our beautiful bodies and minds to function on fumes. Then let's add insult to injury here. We ingest cultural memes, outdated beliefs, giving our power away, waiting for someone else to have the answers. Listen to my podcast, You Are the Authority. And even when inspiration does arrive, we sabotage it. We build proverbial fences. We start to judge. That's a dumb idea. That's already been done. That'll never work. Feel how quickly you rise with resistance to your own inspired ideas. That's one way to make your life small. By the way, I've done it. I can do it. I have the capacity for this. Absolutely. That's one way to make your life small. That's one way to stop the birds from coming. We often put so much pressure on ourselves to have the idea that we stifle every chance we might have had to even receive it. And we can do this differently. We can learn to take care of ourselves in new ways. We can decide, and remember, everything starts with a decision to be more open, to be more curious, to be more allowing. When we drop the judgment and the grip, something remarkable happens. Try it for yourself. We create space because creativity doesn't bloom under pressure. It blossoms in presence. This episode is your invitation. Stop chasing brilliance. Start becoming the place where brilliance feels safe and invited to land. This is the gift that keeps on giving. Maya Angelou said, quote, "You can't use up creativity. The more you use it, the more you have." So what if, just what if, we created within ourselves a sanctuary? Now, there are legions of books, I love books, written on how to foster the flow of new, inspired ideas. But at the heart of every one, the same invitation exists. Create space. Internally, externally, relationally, for something new to land. Some of my favorite personal books on these: The Creative Act by Rick Rubin, Big Magic by Elizabeth Gilbert, The War of Art by Stephen Pressfield. A wide, warm, expansive space of absolute allowance, where we could acknowledge our struggles, hold our dreams gently, and invite inspired ideas to visit. Like birds, not all will stay. Some will just fly through. Some will land. Some will nest. Some will multiply in ways you never expected. Some might even completely raid your inner furniture. Let them. I asked people this week about the conditions under which their most inspired ideas come. And the answers? Beautiful, honest, familiar. Here are a few. They come when I'm cleaning, after a meeting, when I'm finally alone, in the shower, during a walk in nature, while I'm running. Different settings, different rituals, but each one thematically included mental and emotional space. On the flip side, one consistent barrier emerged: busyness. noise, overload, constant input. Let me break it down. If the sanctuary is too loud, the birds don't come. So I ask you, what's your pattern? When do your ideas tend to emerge? Because there is a pattern, and it's yours to discover. And if you don't know it yet, or you want more of it, that's me, then it's time to start experimenting. Because if your life isn't filled with enough clarity, enough color, enough three-dimensional vision that you're excited about, that's your cue. That's your opportunity to innovate. In innovation, again, that's impossible without imagination. And imagination is born from space. So try new things. Try messy things. Try uncertain things. Try real things. You don't have to have it all figured out. Meditation works for some. For others, it's weightlifting, golf, poetry, music, deep conversation, walking a trail. Your formula is yours, but find it. And for goodness sake, look at who's around you. When I talk about creating the conditions for inspired ideas to come, this includes taking total responsibility for inviting the right people close to you. There's no such thing as a right or wrong person, but there are people whose presence absolutely brings out the best in you. Just the nature of who they are, it brings out the best in you. You can feel this aliveness. Trust yourself. Examine this. Who are the people who light you up? Who are the people that, when you're with them, ideas just seem to flow? When you're with them, you believe in greater possibility just by being near them. You like the experience of yourself in their presence. Maybe you've only had a snapshot of that in your life, but bring more of those people closer to you. You're in charge of your social circle. Bring them in and then invest in them. Listen to my last podcast on reciprocity. Invest in these energetic exchanges, these beautiful life-enhancing relationships. These people are your catalysts. They are your mirrors. They are your creative co-conspirators. We're so lazy. We often perpetuate relationships by default out of convenience or some sense of duty. Change is uncomfortable. But I think, personally, staying stagnant is far worse. You're totally responsible for your life, and that includes the people you choose to share your life with. Because your quality of life is directly tied to your imagination and your ability to access inspired ideas. We want new ideas. We want to generate something new. But here's our wake-up call. We often refuse to be new. We refuse to embody new. We continue on the same path, the same patterns. If you want new, ask yourself, what would new do? Be the embodiment of new. As you move through your day, shake it up. If you were new, what would you read? What would you taste? What would you touch? What would you smell? What would new visit? Who would new talk to? Start with who you are. The ideas, I promise, will come. And let me speak from some lived experience. It is so easy to get trapped in circular thinking, to keep hitting the same wall and calling it fate. A lot of us move through life like rats in a maze, racing for answers, hitting dead ends, backtracking, bracing for the next wrong turn. And sure, a healthy attitude might say, well, that dead end, that's just a redirection. but a wiser truth, one that has saved me time and time again, that rat can actually climb out of the maze. You are not stuck. You are not broken. You were never meant to live your whole life navigating someone else's blueprint. There have been chapters in my life, dark, disorienting ones, where there was absolutely no visible way forward. Like many of you, I faced trauma, disease, domestic violence, profound lack. And on the flip side, there were times I held massive vision, incredible things I wanted to create, with no map, no model, and no proof it could work. But again and again, what carried me was this. I chose to believe a way was possible, even if I couldn't see it yet. I still do this all the time, and I stayed open, radically open, to how that might reveal itself, because life will reveal itself. It's not linear. You may be nodding your head. Growth is not logical. You may also be nodding your head, and the truth, it's not hiding. The truth is always waiting to be revealed. It's just waiting for you to make space. The question isn't, will the path appear? The question is, will you be receptive enough to see it? This is the real work. Become the sanctuary. If you want your life to flourish, and I believe you probably do because you're listening to me, then embrace and support what works for you. Reshape your beliefs about what's possible. Create within yourself a sanctuary, a bird sanctuary, and then take extraordinarily good care of it. Stop running the same patterns, expecting different results. That's the definition of insanity. And a pattern, it's a pattern until you interrupt it. Your repeated conscious moment-to-moment choice. That's your absolute becoming. This is your greatest power. It is the thing that never can be taken away from you. And ultimately, it's your legacy. Thank you for being part of our growing community. You've heard me say it 1,000 times, and I'm not going anywhere. This is Amanda Wirtz Rosolowski, celebrating your highest and most important choice, who you are choosing to be.